Hey, what's happening everyone? SirJames coming at you guys with another video. In today's video, I'm here to provide you with my review for Samurai Warriors Spirit of Sanada. Now this game is a little bit different compared to the other Samurai Warriors game because instead of a game that features numerous mini storylines, this is a game that's actually going to be specifically focused on one clan, the Sanada clan. So in this game, you're actually going to be following the Sanada clan's lord as you progress your journey from start to finish with your entire campaign. And what's nice about this too is that, it's not just a simple, okay, you're going to follow this guy and do a bunch of little story missions. That's about it. You're going to notice that throughout your experience is that the village around you, which started off as a small, peaceful village, is going to expand and grow in size until you basically have your own empire. And with each change and growth and passing seasons, you're going to be able to do more things, interact with more people, and just watch this experience grow as time goes on. It's actually pretty enjoyable. But again, for the most part, this game is specifically focused on the Sanada clan from start to finish, but it's well worth the journey. Now going over the graphics for the game, I was actually pretty pleased with how well the visuals looked. Of course, you can expect that the character models are going to be a nice HD render, and usually when it comes to games like Samurai Warriors or even Dynasty Warriors, usually the environments are kind of usually plain or lackluster or just not as upgraded as you're hoping for them to be. I felt like this time around the environments definitely seemed like they got an upgrade, which was definitely appreciated, and it was something that's more of a welcome change, so it was kind of nice to see that. And of course, as always, you can expect that when you initiate your super, you're going to have these nice graphical inputs, especially when you do a double super. But again, just the visualization of the game from start to finish was definitely well done. I didn't really see any issues with the environment, nor have I experienced any type of graphical glitches from pretty much the 10 hours or so that I put into this game already. Now going over the gameplay elements, the gameplay is actually very easy to understand. If you've ever played a Samurai Warriors game in the past, even from the PS2 days, or a similar game known as Dynasty Warriors, then of course you know exactly what to expect for this game. However, I felt like the combat system was definitely retweaked quite a bit, because again, the way the story element goes, as you progress, you're able to level up your character, find new elements, buy new weapons, create weapons, and of course also upgrade that. And of course, along with the character progression, the more you level up your character, the more abilities which you get to learn, and of course new skills in which you get to acquire. So I feel like there's a little bit more of an RPG element here, especially during the free roaming section, as you're able to go find items to help upgrade your initial character stats. But anyways, as far as combat goes, you could expect to find hundreds if not thousands of soldiers on screen, to the point where you're going to slaughter them with easy, because of course you're the badass character in the game. Of course, you're also going to have your variety of different officers, and of course generals in which you're going to have to face off. Now of course, do keep in mind that some characters you don't want to take head on because there is a little bit of a difficulty spike, and of course you also want to kind of pay attention to where your objectives are going to be. If you're always confused of what your objective is going to be, it kind of makes it a clear indication where it's going to guide you there. So there's definitely no issues there. Of course, you can also switch between characters on the fly, so if who's ever going to be following you as another general on the map, you could actually switch between the two. And of course, what's nice is that if you bring these two officers together and perform a combination super attack, of course you could unleash something a little bit more devastation. Now again, do keep in mind that in the game you do have a small village that you get to go back into and of course buy new equipment and weapons. And of course, as you progress throughout the campaign, this village is actually going to grow more and more and more, to the point that you'll be able to interact with people within the village, making you feel a little bit more welcomed, a little bit more part of the experience. And of course, you're able to do different things such as plant a garden, go fishing, level up your character in the dojo, send gifts to your officers that you've seen along the way. All sorts of different little things that are going to provide a little bit more extra replay value. But again, the gameplay experience in which I've dealt with for the past 10 hours was really enjoyable. Combat definitely felt better than ever, especially with all the new mechanics there. But again, these are things that you're going to discover with time. But again, just the initial gameplay in general was definitely spot on. Definitely felt like one of the best ones that I've played in quite a long time. As for the sound, I felt like the initial sound design for the game is actually very, very good. Starting off with the initial music, the music in the game is definitely rock solid. I always find myself to enjoy the music in these type of games ever since the original ones from the PlayStation 2 days. Of course, next up is the voice acting, and the voice acting is also very solid. This time around, there's actually a little bit more cinematic, so there's actually more variety of different characters characters that we get to listen to. Now do keep in mind that the voices are going to be in the original Japanese dub. There's no English option at all, which is perfectly fine. Of course, you do have your different options in terms of switching between the dialogues, such as if you wanted to autoplay or press a button every time they're done talking. Again, you have your different options there, but again, the voice acting this time around is definitely rock solid. And again, it was nice to see more cinematics to kind of hear more variety of different characters as you play on. And of course, the initial combat sound design was actually very good. You're going to have all sorts of different dialogue, people congratulating you, and of course the sound of dying soldiers from left and right as you massacre them on the battlefield. Last but not least is replay value, and of course my initial score. Now as for the replay value, again, this game is definitely going to be a much more of a lengthier campaign compared to other previous Samurai Warriors title. And of course, one of the nice replay value here is the fact that the much interaction that you're able to do within your village. Again, you start off small, but as you progress throughout, you actually get to acquire new territories, new areas in which you get to explore. You could even do small tasks like being able to fish, send gifts, upgrade your weapons, upgrade your characters, again with a little bit more of an RPG element there, and of course even plant some plannery and all sorts of different things. Again, there's just a lot of little things that you can do here, which is going to increase your overall replay value as you progress within the main storyline. Now in the end, this is actually one of my new favorite Samurai Warriors games that I've played to date. It's actually very enjoyable, the story was interesting, and I really liked the way the progression system actually worked out, and of course along with the many other changes that I saw. But in the end, I'm actually going to be giving this game a 9 out of 10. It's definitely worth checking out if you're a big fan of Samurai Warriors. If you're not, maybe worth a rental. But once again, I am SirJames from Gamerfuzion.com, where we empower your gaming.